Hey, hi. What's up, man?
It's a Western Conference battle here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles as the Lakers look to work home court advantage. Buckle yourselves in, everybody. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. You look at Minnesota, winning their last 3 games. Would like to make that 4 in a row here tonight.
And they're playing some of the most impressive basketball we've seen all season in the NBA. It's hard to think of any team that's played better than they have during this streak.
And, Greg, I love the attitude they're bringing onto the court every night, the belief you can see in this group. It's going to take something very special to beat this team.
We are far enough into the season now to determine the true contenders, Clark, or do you feel that isn't revealed until closer to playoff time?
No, I think you start to narrow that list down right now, Kevin. I mean, you begin to see which teams are capable of making runs in the playoffs. And obviously, anything can happen between now and the playoffs, but the teams that are going to be there battling, you get a pretty good read on who those teams are right now.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Wiggins in at the 3 spot. Harris kicks to James. Towns with the defensive effort. Teague with the ball. 11 points last game. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Shot from 12. And it's LeBron James with the rebound. Here's A-Train. Connects from 3-point range. A-Train's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Good vision that time by Ball. You leave somebody open around him, and he's going to get the ball to him.
Teague against Ball. Here's Towns. And that one goes long.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
James kicks to Harris. Good, and the assist goes to James.
And I'll tell you what, guys, I think that's the best part of James's game, and he's got a lot of good parts, but his vision is otherworldly.
Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Ball. Jumps up, and Ball slams it in.
And aggressive defense causing the mistake, then cashing in.
Yeah, that's a momentum changer for sure. You got to like the steal and the finish at the other end. That's the thing, paying that steal off with the finish.
And Minnesota has possession after the basket by Los Angeles. James the pass to Ball. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Ball's got his second bucket of the night. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Last time they met was in Minnesota.
And really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the board.
And Greg, you know how it is. At some point, you just got to man up and play with a lot more aggressiveness and toughness and pride inside.
And a great time to check out the power rankings. See how the teams are stacking up across the league. You look at San Antonio. They're moving on up. 4th spot in the rankings this time around.
And seeing where the Lakers are, they continue to obliterate expectations because they found a way to get the most out of the guys on this roster.
Butler, no good. Here's the Lakers with the ball. It's been 10 unanswered points. And this Timberwolves team, so fun to watch.
I agree. All-star talent on the rise, athleticism, and they can light it up too. Yeah, fun group.
And the first one drops.
And the leadership, James, brings to this team is incredibly valuable. When things get tight, they look to the king to provide for them.
He hits both from the strike. And Clark, a lot of great names to choose from, but who would you pick for your greatest Laker ever?
Wow, that's always tough when you have such a robust list, Kevin. I always start with Kareem whenever he's in the conversation because that guy was my idol as I grew up watching the game. So Kareem is there, Magic, Wilt, Shaq, Elgin, and Jerry West, and Kobe. That's too many, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Some great names there, though, Clark. You're right. Hard to pick just one. Here's James following the score by Taj Gibson.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
So it's Minnesota now, following the basket by LeBron James. And that one's good by Butler. Butler's got his first points of the night.
It's clear that Butler feels confident shooting down low. I mean, he's got the strength and touch to dominate in there.
LeBron dishes to Harris. High post shot. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Harris has got 5 now.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Now here's Wiggins. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Suns in Phoenix.
Kudos to him for his energy, especially on the glass where he was an absolute beast.
And a tremendous Unleashed Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Hat. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
And the Wolves coach Tom Thibodeau and Jimmy Butler challenging Towns and Wiggins to step up their defensive intensity. Clark, do you worry about pushback from those young stars?
Not really. I mean, how they respond is going to be key to where this team goes. Towns and Wiggins are the top dogs, young players with great potential. The expectations starting to change as part of your development as a winning star player in the NBA, and I think both guys will rise to the challenge.
Now, here's Ball. After the miss from Karl Anthony Towns and the slam dunk by McGee.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
Here's T, following the bucket by the Lakers. Here's Towns. The second chance effort. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
A guy with the size and skill of Towns, Kevin, really hard to stop without fouling.
Minnesota shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. And you think about the game of Karl Anthony Towns, the versatility club. The versatility just leaps out at you.
Well, he's a man of his times, Kevin, when you talk about his game. I mean, that's where the game is now. And that's always been his ambition, to be as complete a player as possible. And at his size, he shoots you deep, he can post you up. And as he gets better as a passer, he's going to be harder to guard.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
And the Timberwolves call timing.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of blanks there. Can't hit a thing. Has to be deflating.
Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. You take a look at Los Angeles. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And, of course, the Timberwolves just need to take it a game at a time.
And I think for the Lakers, they have caught the entire league off guard. This was not a position anyone thought they'd be in at this stage of the season.
And the credit belongs to them for what they did and didn't do during the offseason. I mean, they had a vision, they set it out, and they stayed true to it.
Now, here's James. He had 19 points in the win against Golden State. Scored the basket. His fourth. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Right side Towns. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Well, the 2016 Rookie of the Year, Karl Anthony Towns, a.k.a. Cat, only the 5th player to win that award unanimously. And by the way, in year 2, he set the Timberwolves franchise record for scoring in a season.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Kyle Kuzma's checked in for JaVale McGee. Josh Hart comes in for Harris. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Ball. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. There's the foul. That's against Minnesota. And you talk about Towns' sophomore year. He became the first player, Clark, in NBA history to record 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 100 three-pointers in a single season.
Wow, that is impressive, boy. But his shooting ability, for his size, remarkable. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me before his career is done, Kevin, if he joins Dirk Nowitzki as the only 7-footers in the 50-40-90 club. 50% two-point field goals, 40% or better from 3, and 90% from the line.
Now here's Rose. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Suns in Phoenix. Inside. Kuzma against Jang. Kuzma passes to A-Train. The rebound by the Timberwolves. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
Playing on the road, always a challenge, but it becomes a heck of a lot easier when you can shoot the 3-ball the way they did.
And, Greg, they were shooting that thing with confidence, boy. Every time they got a clean look from deep, the trigger was pulled.
Pow! And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. He kicks it to Butler. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
I mean, with the amount of turnovers they've committed, it's no wonder they're in the position they're in right now.
Beasley's checked in for Los Angeles. Brandon Ingram comes in for A-Train. Let's see. The 4 and 5 are the athletic duo of LeBron and McGee. Harris is out there with Lonzo Ball. And it's A-Train in at the 3. That's the Laker 5. And James throws it down.
Guys, when LeBron is scoring like this, as a defender, it's hard not to throw up your arms and say, I give up. Just so hard to slow him down.
He has a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, A-Train in the last game against the Warriors was phenomenal. He had 37 points and got there the usual way. An impressive barrage of 3-pointers. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while. And you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that high, it takes a while to cool down.
And you know what, Greg? I think defensively, they're going to be ready for him. They won't make things easy. Coming off a game like he just had, I mean, he's going to get a bunch of attention.
Baseline try, and it's Wiggins missing.
It's just one of those games for him so far. Nothing seems to be finding the bottom of the net.
Throws it down.
LeBron James throwing it down is a thing of beauty. An incredible athlete who makes dunking look as easy as it can look.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Towns. And the layup's good off the glass. Towns has got 6 points.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
I think he's got to be more aggressive, stronger, getting through those screens. Can't allow shooters that kind of space to pull the trigger.
Ball with it, picked up by Teague. A 3-ball, and he sinks it from deep. 3-pointer good from A-Train. He's got 7.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Here's Butler over James. No good on that one. And the Lakers take it the other way. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
Yeah, you know what? The waters were calm for most of the game. I mean, little resistance, felt like they could get any look they wanted at any time.
Pass to A-Train. Off target from 3-point range. And it's Butler with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. Here's Towns. That ball's high speed that time from Wiggins. Towns has got 4 points now in the quarter.
You see the way Towns is able to extend over the defense? Just too long, too big to be guarded effectively, especially when he gets this deep.
To the wing right side. E-Train. No good with the triple. Timberwolves trail by 18. Towns finds Teague. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Wiggins passes to Towns. Shoots over McGee. McGee with the block. And they're able to recover. Poke loose, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by McGee. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 12 in the second quarter, right at the 50% mark from the field.
And, you know, I think if you're a Lakers fan, you've got to be excited about this young core. I mean, had a fantastic draft in 2017 and got really good building block players in Ball, Kuzma, and Hart.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
For Los Angeles, they have shot 80% from the line tonight, going 4 of 5 so far.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wentz.
I could not say it any better, showing you some real focus, taking it inside against the bigger man.
Outside Teague. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. That's good. And so Teague with the assist.
And, you know, the touch from deep, the confidence. Butler showing strides of becoming a real threat out there.
Gibson against James. Now the pass the ball. Here's A-Train. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Well, that's how you drive your point home right there.
He's lucky to get away with that, though, guys. I mean, it could have earned him a technical for hanging on too long.
T kicks to Butler. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Knocked away. And it's good for 2. Wiggins has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, trying to employ physical defense against Wiggins, but this young man powers right through it. Very impressive.
Pass to Harris. Down low. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. The league's long-distance Bombers are setting their sights on the three-point contest this season. Here are some of the early favorites to make up the field.
And I love the way the voting is shaping up, Kevin. We'll have an excellent contest if these are the shooters who are firing away on All-Star Weekend.
We take a look at the A-Train. And at number 4 on the list, he's almost certain to take part in the contest this year. He's going to be excited to let those long-range shots fly in All-Star Weekend.
And the fans have been right to give him so much love. He's deadly from beyond, and he has to be in this contest this season.
And as the votes keep pouring in, we'll keep you updated on any changes to that list. It looks like we're going to have quite a group.
Man, you talk about the ultimate marksman's list here, Kevin. Maybe this will be the year somebody gets that perfect score.
Lakers leading by 19 points. Ball, the pass to A-Train. Kicks to McGee. LeBron James on the wing. 5 to shoot. And again, it's the Lakers.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Timberwolves trail by 21. Now T. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Gibson finds Wiggins. Outside Butler. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And Jimmy Butler, something of a quirky character, has a ritual whenever he's at a grocery store of paying the person's bill behind it. Doesn't care if it's 99 cents or 2,000.
First trip to the line for him here. And he makes the first. And Butler never afraid to be a little bit different, listening to country music in the locker room, much to his teammates' chagrin.
In the offseason, riding around in a van with the baby on board sticker, even though he's single with no kids. Remove the rearview mirror as a symbolic reminder to never look back. This guy's special. Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And, Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
To the paint. And Jang gets it to go.
Though Jang has developed a pretty good outside shot, this is where you want him operating, in the painted area.
James, the pass to A-Train. With some arc. LeBron, no luck.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
Well, the thing they did there, Greg, clogged up the passing lanes, playing them beautifully and making things hard for the opponent. That's really good defense. Well, I like the defense there. Right up in his grill, didn't give him a chance.
The rebound by the Timberwolves.
Boy, the defense was great. Superb, stellar, platinum level. Can't really contest that shot any better than that.
Rose. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
LeBron James on the wing. Down low. Here's A-Train, and down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
Great players like LeBron draw so much attention defensively. Really opens up the passing lanes for him.
From deep, Rose. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's LeBron James making things happen for Los Angeles. He has really delivered at the offensive end. He's torched them for 24 points so far. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David. Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been a clinic out there by James.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
Yeah, I liked how they took the initiative. They were really locked into what they wanted, not letting the defense dictate their shot selection.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for Minnesota, Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. And it's Team in a point guard. And a quick look at how the Minnesota Timberwolves schedule is shaping up. On Friday, they'll be matching up against Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz. Then on Sunday, they'll be facing Hassan Whiteside and the Memphis Grizzlies.
And it's going to be home game after home game after home game for this group. So they got a great chance to string together a number of wins given how strong they've been playing. Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And even under pressure and close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
Clark, you had a tremendous college career, excluding yourself. Give me the best NBA player from your alma mater.
Wow. I would probably lean towards Jerry Lucas as the best player coming out of Ohio State. And then you look at his pro career, it was pretty solid as well. I thought Herb Williams had a fantastic and long pro career. John Havlicek maybe would rise to the level of the best NBA player of the group that came out of Ohio State. Jim Jackson is another name. Evan Turner still playing. But I think John Havlicek probably in longevity, championship, Hall of Fame stature. I think he may be the best NBA bucket.
I'm going to put Clark Kellogg in there, too.
I didn't play long enough.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kyle Kuzma had a tough upbringing in Flint, Michigan. He said they had the recession, lead in the water, It was like an urban war zone. We probably moved 14 times before I was 16. Basketball was my key. And his drive to succeed in the NBA was born of a desire to escape that environment. Kevin?
A tremendous work ethic, David. Thank you.
Now, that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
Minnesota calls timeout. You look at James. What a contribution.
And he's just attacking the rim with force here. They need to try and deny him the ball in the paint to keep him away from the basket.
While there's a break, let's take a look at this past month's assist leaders among small forwards in the NBA. LeBron James, number 1.
Well, you hear the term point forward thrown around about some players, maybe a little too loosely. But when it comes to him, I truly believe it applies.
Absolutely. I mean, they want him touching the ball every time down, making sure the offense flows through him. He's going to make decisions that are good for his team out there, and those assist numbers prove that.
Back to Harris. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. The shot's good from A-Train.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Ball against T. Looking to end the run. That one a little long.
Tell you what, Kevin, it would be helpful if he would start to contribute a little more on offense, because when he's missing, it makes it really hard for this team.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
Yeah, and you know, the ball moves faster than anybody's can, so that great ball movement and decision making, they're making all the right moves, Greg.
Back to Butler. Minnesota needs to get off a shot here. Another miss by Minnesota.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, if they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound.
And the Lakers with some changes. Beasley's checked in for JaVale McGee. Ingram comes in for James. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in for Harris. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust. You modify. You go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
Here's A-Train. That's in. He's 7 for 12 now in the game. Now here's Teague. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. And Tom Thibodeau is a demanding coach, Clark. We know that. His teams have responded, though. But sometimes teams can wear down from that style. Does that concern you in Minnesota?
Not really, Kevin. I mean, he's shown that he's got a proven track record for having teams be successful. And with ownership behind him, I think the players will follow his lead. Remember, he's got the dual role as coach and president of operations. Not sure if that is always the best way to go about it, but in this case, with the alignment with ownership, I think it'll work.
Ingram outside. Fires at the elbow. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Here's Butler. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Caldwell-Pope passes to A-Train. Back to Caldwell-Pope. Passes it the ball. Here's the teardrop. He takes it up and lays it in. Ball's got 10 points in the game.
Hard not to respect the excellent decision-making. I mean, Ball enjoys exploiting the defense, especially in the pick and roll.
Here's Butler. That ball's high speed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 4 assists in the game. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Ball, the pass to A-Train. Beasley left side. Shoots over Towns. No good from Beasley. And so it's Wiggins with it. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. And there's the call on A-Train. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Lakers with some changes. Kyle Kuzma comes in for A-Train. Rajon Rondo is subbed in. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Caldwell Pope passes to A-Train. Clark, an interesting aspect of the one-and-done controversy. Increasingly, these guys are being asked to take on a big role in the NBA right away.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm all for guys that have the unique ability and opportunity to play pro basketball out of high school or after 1 or 2 years of college. I would love to see college kids hang around for 2 or 3 years, but that's not realistic for the supremely gifted. But it does put pressure on your teams if you're expecting these young guys to come in and impact winning right away. It takes a little time in most cases for even really highly talented players to become winning NBA players.
Rondo and Caldwell Pope in the backcourt. LeBron James is out there with Ivica Zubac. And it's A-Train in at the small forward position. That's the Laker 5.
Yeah, I guess when you're up this big, you can afford to get a little sloppy. And that's a tough one. But on those illegal screen calls, a defender's never going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Those are facts, man. I mean, if he's sliding his feet just a skosh, the refs are going to whistle him for it.
And the Lakers making a change here. Ball's checked in. Here's Towns. It doesn't go for him. Nice D from A-Train. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Pass to Zubac. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. Here's A-Train. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
Teague deciding where to go with it. Stolen by Ball. The pass to A-Train. That falls. Nice speed that time from Ball. Ball's got 5 assists tonight. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Lakers.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Yeah, I think you also have to give them a lot of credit for how well they've risen up to meet shooters to challenge shots in this game. A lot of blocked shots tonight.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
Teague against Ball. Teague kicks to Gibson. And again, unable to change momentum here. Lakers have gotten it done so far from the field here in the fourth, going 6 for 7. Teague drives in, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, some point guards will feel that contact and just take the trip to the line, but Teague was determined to draw the foul and convert the shot.
And the Timberwolves making a change here.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw, no good for Teague. Well, this is something that Kobe has said in the past with the Lakers organization. It is championship or bust.
Well, I think you need that type of culture and mentality to have a chance to win championships. I believe the Lakers have done a good job of maintaining that mentality throughout the years.
Stolen by Ball. And he uses the glass on the layup. Ball's got 4 points this quarter.
You got to be composed when you go inside, knowing that you're going to have some contact and resistance facing you. Ball unafraid to get it deep inside.
We seem to see a lot of players request trades in the media, but Clark, you have to believe some teams were blindsided by this.
Oh, there's no question about it, Kevin, that teams have been blindsided on occasion. I don't like to see players operate that way, but I also understand sometimes the frustration that leads them to do so. But at the end of the day, I think it's part and parcel of the environment we're in and the nature of the business of the NBA. Sometimes players just aren't confident in what they hear directly, so they take other measures to voice their choice or displeasure.
Shooting two.
And he knocks down the first one. Clark, if you were a general manager, and I think you'd make an outstanding one, during the pre-draft process in particular, a player has declined to work out for you. Some changes here for the Lakers. JaVale McGee's checked in for Zubats. A-Train comes in for Josh Hart. And Harris subbed in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Wiggins finds Rose. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Towns. No good off the back of the rim. Los Angeles has gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. And finished off by LeBron.
He has really shot the ball extremely well, as you'd expect. Like we say, he's been making sweet string music all day long.
Pass to Jang. To the middle. And finished off by Jang.
That's lit right there. Jang times his jump perfectly and puts on a show.
Harris passes to LeBron. You look at rebounding now, Clark. Teams relying less on one guy and more on collective team rebounding, especially, it seems, on the defensive end.
Yeah, and you think about it, Kevin, with the space and pace game, positionless basketball, if you will, or versatile basketball that takes place, more guys are spread out and away from the goal. Bigger guys are not always camped in the lane, so everybody's got to rebound the ball, more so today than in past decades, because again, the three-point shots are coming at a rapid rate. Longer rebounds are available now, so everybody's got to be attuned to rebounding the ball.
Goes up and lays it nice and easy. James has got 13 points in the second half.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Lakers.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And on the year now, tonight's impending victory will push their win total to 47.
And in the final game of the season series between these two, they did everything out there they needed to close out with a winning record, 3-1 against the Timberwolves.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for LeBron.
Boy, that was a terrific performance on offense. He was out of his mind. I mean, he scored in so many different ways tonight.
Teague with a clean look. Another miss by Minnesota. Gibson against LeBron. Passes it to A-Train. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Big time. I mean, it's amazing. Their crowd letting them hear it, and that's always inspiring. They want to see this thing get wrapped up.
He puts it again.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle. A-Train, the pass to McGee. Here's A-Train. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. See you next time.
Oh, man, well, my favorite, that's definitely the classic crossover, man. You can embellish it all you want, but when it comes to that, pure
Hey,
mechanic.
you got time for a quick interview? We have Griff standing by.
Okay, where we going?
Right this way.
AI.
What's up, Griff? How
Hey.
you doing, man?
Good. You were a force on defense tonight, and it's not always easy to stand out on that side of the ball. What do you have to say about your defensive effort and what it means to have your work on that end get noticed?
You know, I pride myself on being an all-around player. I mean, I know the fans usually prefer offense, and, you know, I love putting on a show when I can, but sometimes you just got to go in full lockdown mode, and that's exactly what I did tonight.
It's almost like you were built as a lockdown defender from the very beginning.
Whoa, Griff. That's a little too meta for me right there, okay? Let's, let's just say that, you know, it was a good win, and thank you for noticing that my contribution on both sides of the ball.
Always an interesting interview, AI. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.